forward to the cloud, and we'll go ahead and get started. And so, having the things you like close by, having an ample amount of cozies. So, I recommend having maybe a couple bed pillows. I also have a strap. I think we'll use our strap today. So, if you have a strap, I'm grabbing a strap. I have an aromatherapy that this is a scent that I just kind of like. I have an eye pillow. You can't go wrong with covering up your eyes to allow your nervous system to release and relax. I'm going to pop my pillows over here for now. I have a bolster today. If you don't have a bolster, a couch cushion will work just fine. I'm actually going to put my bolster down because I'm going to sit on it as we get started. And then I have at least 3 blankets, sometimes more, and have a blanket to cover up with as well. It's important to be generous with yourself, and so often in our daily experience we're not. We kind of hold back for others to give others space and healing, but to remember that the better that we care for ourselves, that it really does reflect into our experience, and it heals our relationships, even relationships with ourselves from the past. We can really this idea of being able to sort of heal all parts of ourselves and all experiences, and even sinks into interpersonal relationships, into all of humanity. Everything's connected. It really is. So coming into a seat and sort of shift around a little bit, rock from side to side, from front to back. And then allow your tailbone to sink into the earth, and the crown of your head extends up towards the heavens. And bring your hands together and rub them, and getting them nice and warm. And bring one hand to your heart and the other hand to your belly, and offer yourself just this kindness and compassion. Offer yourself peace and love. And relax your jaw. Take a deep breath and smile into the palms of your hands. Allow that smile to radiate into your being. Having compassion for your human experience. And being grateful for this time you've set aside for yourself. Now we're going to find some movement. Think some circles at the waist, and kind of make your circles as little or as big as you would like. And as you move, you can let your breath just flow. Maybe your shoulders start to release, and your hands can kind of drift across your legs as well. Bring your chin towards your chest. And these circles, these nice motions, helping to And massage your internal organs and hoping to get a little stretch through your sides and your back. And go the other direction if you haven't already. And see as you go if your breath maybe wants to come along with you. Maybe you find an exhale, half circle, inhale, the other half circle. And listen to the sound of your breath. And back to center. Let your legs come out in front of you and just sort of bounce your knees a little. You can point and flex your toes and bring your hands to your legs and kind of rub down your legs and up the inside of your legs. So holding as far forward as feels nice to you. And breathing as you move and remembering also that we have these healing hands. We use our hands to express warmth and kindness to others. And, just like in Reiki and the idea of that gentle laying on of hands, we do that for ourselves as well. And we can tap into that source of universal love and offer ourselves that. Coming back up to tall spine, bend each knee, letting your feet come to the ground, and let your feet be a little further away from each other. I'm just going to hold on to my bolster and I'm going to move one leg in and out. So just getting kind of a gentle stretch on the inside and outside of the leg, of the hip. Seeing if your shoulders can relax as you do. Maybe you bring your hands behind you. And one of the benefits to this practice, to any gentle movement practice, is you really get to become a little bit more aware of how we move and where the tightness lies, where there might be a little deeper tension. And in our practice, we're not looking to force anything to change. We're embracing the areas of ourselves, the parts of ourselves that feel tense, that feel uncomfortable, and we're going to listen to them. Just like a dear friend listens to us, or we listen to a dear friend, and we'll listen and hold them and surround them with love. I'm going to do the other leg, so just letting the other knee fall in and out. Breathing. Letting your jaw relax. And let that go. And move your wrists around, move your fingers. How about interlace your fingers and press your palms away from you? Reach your arms up. Oh, back down. Pull your shoulders up to your ears and back down a few times. Really getting that little gentle movement in to prepare us for our first restorative posture. And if you have blankets, you could take two blankets and fold them up. We all have different thicknesses of blankets. In fact, I have a couple different thicknesses here, so it's nice to consider that. And what I want to do is create this cushion for my spine. This is a chest opener. And so you want to be considerate of how much height you'd like to have. More height is going to be maybe a deeper stretch and a little more stretch through your abdomen as well. I'm going to also take a blanket and place it at the top, and this is where my head is going to go. I'm going to take my bolster. If you have a couch cushion, you could place that down. And I'm going to roll up another blanket and build a ramp for my feet, for my legs, for my knees to go over this ramp and have my little ramp that I've built. If you have other blankets, other pillows, you can kind of bring them in to get you cushioned and relaxed. And before I lie back, I'm even going to take this blanket where my head is going to go. I'm going to kind of roll it up to place a cervical roll under my neck. And this can offer a little bit more support that really lets the back of your head relax. And there are these acupressure points. In fact, before we lie down, maybe bring your fingers to kind of this place where the nape of your neck meets your skull. And just kind of massage gently this area. You can even bring your chin a little closer towards your chest. And these are gallbladder meridian points. And the gallbladder in Chinese medicine is associated with decision making, connected to the liver, which is the general in charge of planning and vision and are all of those things we find very important in our culture. So you're encouraging clear decision making and just by stimulating these points on the back of your head. Never hurts. Now go ahead and let your legs extend over your bolster situation. Bring your eye pillow to place it maybe on your upper leg and adjust yourself so that you can lie back and have the support under your spine, have enough support under the back of your head so that your chin comes slightly downward. And as you set this up, you might just decide that it would feel better if you had a little bit more of your spine supported. Maybe you decide you'd rather have a pillow under the back of your head, and that's totally fine. It's your practice. And the most important thing is that you feel comfortable so that you can really soften into the posture. You're going to let your shoulders relax off of any supports. And if you have glasses on, you'll want to remove your glasses. And if you have an eye pillow, bring your eye pillow over your eyes. And let your hands just gently rest on your low abdomen. And take a deep breath in and let it go. And Now notice your breath. Feel your breath as it moves in and down into your lungs. And envision that it draws all the way down into your low abdomen, all the way to your pelvic floor as you inhale. And as you exhale, your belly just falls naturally and softly towards your spine. Working with a little of this abdominal breathing or diaphragmatic breath. As you inhale, your belly expands like a balloon and you're strengthening your diaphragm. You're also encouraging the parasympathetic response, the rest and relax response. And part of this is because your vagus nerve travels through your diaphragm. The vagus nerve they found is very much connected to our parasympathetic response. So it's like you're massaging this very important nerve. You're also encouraging the flow of blood back to the heart from the lower body. So you're uh, assisting your heart when you find deep breathing, taking pressure off of your heart. Your diaphragm pressing down on your abdominal contents gives them a massage. So, all of these good things are happening. And also, your spine is being supported by this blanket underneath of it. So, there's a softness along your spine and a softness in the back of your head. And maybe that extra support under the nape of your neck so that kind of feel that pressure on those gallbladder points that we were massaging earlier. Feeling your hands rise and fall with your breath. Allowing yourself to surrender into the support beneath you. With every inhale, you're drawing in all of this nourishing energy, all of the kind of nutrients from the air around you. It enters your bloodstream, it mixes with the nutrients from the food you consume, nourishes every tissue and every cell of your body. Let your arms come to rest at your sides with your palms facing up, letting your shoulders soften a little bit more. Now just allow your breath to be natural, unconditioned. With
each exhalation, you sink a little bit more into the support beneath you. And when your mind wanders, as it does, gently bring your awareness back to your exhalation. Your breath being a bridge between your mind and body. And our goal is to take good care of our body since it's such an important vehicle. It's this wonderful tool for us to utilize. And by plugging it in and plugging your mind in, you're stimulating this rest and relax response that also facilitates our innate healing ability. It encourages. Just allow yourself to be here. Softening a little more through your shoulders, and relaxing your eyes under their lids. Tapping in a little deeper to that healing response just through being here now. Take a deep inhale and let it go. And make small movements with your fingers and toes, your wrists and ankles. We're going to come off of the blanket under our spine, but we're going to return to lying on our back. So a good way to do this is to bend your knees and to roll to your side and just sort of scooch that blanket out from behind you and then return If you're like me and you lost your eye pillow, that's okay. You can have your blanket under the back of your head still, though, because that can be quite nice. Returning to your back, bring your knees in and rock from side. And as you rock your knees in one direction, you can turn your head in the opposite direction. Now bring your hands to your knees. Press your knees away from you, lengthening your arms, and then draw your knees back into your chest. And as you make these movements, maybe your breath comes along with you, inhaling as your knees push away and exhaling as they come back in. And this is also a wonderful exercise for your lungs and a massage for your abdomen. Remembering that less is often more, but in a practice where our goal is to really relax, to find some gentle movement, to sort of open up the body and then enjoy these more restorative, supported postures, we really want to be gentle with ourselves so that we can encourage that flow of energy, that innate healing response. That's really what that is, what that amounts to is easier flow of energy through the body, through your whole being. And now rolling over to your side, you're gonna just be there. So you might even take a pillow, see if I can grab one of my pillows with my feet and bring it between your knees, shins, and ankles. You can just rest on your side and cross your arms and rub your upper arm. A deep breath in and let it go. Slowly going to make our way up to a seat. And I'd really like you to take your time in doing so. You want to keep your chin towards your chest until you come all the way to the top. And then when you come into a seat, I'm actually going to do a little bit of tapping before we come into our next restorative posture. And tapping is based in meridian theory in Chinese medicine. And so it's quite interesting because they found that it's very helpful, very useful, especially in alleviating kind of general anxiety, encouraging the processing of more difficult situations too, the mental pathways that we go down. So we're going to begin by tapping fingertips on the outside edge of your hand, the pinky edge of your hand. Just gentle tapping fingertips. You don't have to be thinking about anything specific. You can just allow the process to happen.
going to go to the other hand, tapping fingers on your pinky edge of your finger. This is actually a small intestine acupressure point as well. Kind of interesting. The small intestine in Chinese medicine is the royal food taster, and it's connected to the fire element, to our heart, actually. And we absorb much of our nutrients through our small intestine. It's all about processing kind of information or just letting in that which is helpful. Next, we're going to tap the top of the head. So take your tapping fingers and tap the top of your head. Just relaxing, tapping gently. This is a point for releasing worry, as is the next point between your eyebrows. Tapping gently between your eyebrows. And I'm going to go ahead and remove my glasses because they'll get in the way. If you're like me, I can't see anything once my glasses are off, but just trust the process. Tapping between the eyebrows, the calm, the spirit point. And now tapping on the outside edge of the eyebrows. And now we'll tap under the eyes, so kind of on the cheekbones. Gentle tapping fingertips. And then we'll tap under the nose, kind of um, on the gum line, so not tapping on the teeth. And tapping above the chin. Tapping under the collarbone. A lung acupressure point to release worry, release grief, release disappointment. And now tapping at the low ribs. Here you have the liver on the right side and the stomach on the left side, the pancreas, spleen, and that solar plexus area right between there. Our ability to make decisions, to kind of change direction. Also, our connection between our earthly existence and our minds, and our kind of where our thoughts travel. Let's tap that area as well. Feeling that connection, allowing our thoughts to kind of come down and be manifested, and allowing our earthly life to be inspired. Then let that go. Just let your hands come down for a moment. Maybe your palms face up and you just sort of notice the reverberation. Nice deep inhale and let it go. We're going to find our next restorative posture, which is crescent moon. And I'm going to take, you could do this with a bolster. If you have a bolster might work. to show you. I'm gonna be relaxing over the bolster. So that's something that could work. Or you could take a couple of blankets and you can roll them up if you don't have a bolster. I think a couch cushion would be a little much for that particular experience because you want your ribs to kind of hang over that. So I've got two pretty thick blankets actually. And I'm going to allow my rib cage to come down. And here's where I could even grab a blanket or a pillow and place it under my head. My arm is. If this is too much for your shoulder, you might even take a folded up blanket and you could put your head on the blanket and have your arm coming straight out in front of you. That's a good way. I've seen that be really effective for people too, if their shoulders bothered having their arm extended like that. And your legs, you could have your legs outstretched with your legs kind of scissoring. So the top leg goes back, the bottom leg goes forward, or you could have a pillow or a blanket between your knees, shins, and ankles. So I kind of like that one. That usually does it for me. I might try to scissor the legs and see how that feels. And it's important to taste test things and decide what works best for you. And when you get yourself in a place that works best, bring your fingertips to your shoulder and you're going to trace the moon. So you're making these circles, tracing the moon, breathing all the while. My microphone gets caught up by my blanket there. Feeling your shoulder, kind of noticing the stretch in your rib cage as well as in your shoulder. Breathing. And if it feels okay, you could extend your arm and make your circles with your arm long and feel maybe having a bend in the arm. And we'll go the other direction with your circles. Now bringing your arm up overhead, maybe your palms come together, your fingertips touch your wrist or touch your hand, and breathe into your rib cage. And see if you can release over the support. Letting your eyes close and breathing into your side ribs and into the space between your ribs, your intercostal muscles. And breathing into your diaphragm. Depending upon what side you're on, I'm lying on my left side, so I'm kind of giving my stomach a squeeze, and I'm opening up the area around my liver. Breathe into your liver, or if you're lying on your right side and your left arm is extended overhead, breathe into your stomach.
Take a deep breath in and let it go. Bring your hands in front of you, and you're going to come into a tabletop, taking your time getting there. Having your wrists under your shoulders and your knees under your hips. Find some cows and cats, opening up your front body and then rounding forward, letting your chin come towards your chest and your tailbone tuck as well. Moving with your breath. Coming to neutral, make your way to sit kind of on the other side, preparing yourself for this posture on the other side, and maybe restructuring your bolster. If you've made a bolster with some blankets, I'm gonna go ahead and utilize the square bolster that I have. My blanket down here. I've got my pillow for between my knees, shins, and ankles, and then just draping yourself over, maybe bringing a blanket or a pillow between your upper arm and your head. That can feel really good. And once you get yourself situated, bring your fingertips to your shoulder and start to make some circles, tracing the moon. Stretching your intercostal muscles very gently, offering support to your diaphragm, and breathing into maybe your stomach if you're lying on your right side, getting that stretch around your stomach area. Or if you're lying on your left side, getting that stretch through your liver area on the right. It feels good. You can extend your fingers and kind of trace the moon. Nice slow circles. Maybe bending your elbow. Go the other direction with your circle. And then let your arm extend overhead. See the palms of your hands kind of come together. And breathe and relax. Allow yourself to soften into the support beneath you. deep breath and let go. And bring your hand in front of your shoulder, making your way up to tabletop again. And this time in tabletop, I'm going to bring my hands to bolster a little softness. If you have a couple blankets there, maybe that's a good place. And make these hip circles. Those hip circles coming forward and down and around. And as you make these circles, maybe allowing your breath to come along with you, to find an inhale, half of a circle, and an exhale, the other half circle. We'll go the other direction. And next, we're going to come to a seat. And you're going to let your legs come out in front of you. We're going to find a resting dragonfly. So a forward fold with the legs extended a little wider. Now, some ways to make this more comfortable is to take a blanket. You're going to want to take a blanket and sit up on a blanket. I like that. I think that helps my spine feel a little longer. And then you're going to take two other blankets and roll them up and place them under each knee. Oh no. Lost my pillow. I'm going to take my bolster, or you could take your couch cushion and my pillow and bring them in. And as you fold forward into this posture, there's a couple things that you can do. One is to bring the palms of your hands together and let your forehead rest on your thumbs. Another is you could just allow your hands to kind of stack. Maybe you rest your head in one direction, or maybe if that's too much, you can also bring this bolster in a little bit more and be higher up. And so, kind of finding a place that works for you. Again, the goal is to allow yourself to release forward. Now, a benefit of this posture is that our lungs are larger and more oriented towards the back of our body. And so bring your awareness to the backs of your lungs. And breathe into the back of your lungs. And our breath helps us to touch base with how we feel. And if you don't feel your breath on the backs of your lungs, just envision it going there. Sometimes it can kind of take the form of a beautiful healing light making its way into the backs of your lungs. I always think of when my daughter was little, when she was a baby, and you saw her back rise and fall when she was on her stomach. It was so beautiful to just see how full her lungs could be. They're not restrained. Babies aren't restrained by all of the physical tension that we experience as we get older, as we grow, as we experience the kind of the world around us telling us what we can and can't do, and tension is created, and so we have a lot to gently work with, a lot of tension, a lot of deeply held tension. And breathing into the backs of your lungs is helping to release that tension with warmth and love and compassion. And if your head is turned one direction, you want to turn it the other direction just to get the same kind of stretch on the other side of your neck. Breathing into the backs of your lungs, connecting with them. A deep breath and sigh it out, let it go. Slowly make your way back up to a seat. And just sit up tall. Let your shoulders come up to your ears and roll back down a few times. And now we're going to start to set ourselves up to lie back down. And so we want to make a really nice relaxation posture. And I highly recommend that you make that ramp again for your legs. That's always a really good one. And you're going to want um, the back of your head to be supported. And again, I just highly recommend taking a blanket and rolling up the bottom of it to give yourself that cervical support and that softness under your head. But you can certainly use a pillow if that would work better for you. You're going to want a blanket to cover up with.
And we didn't use our strap, but that's okay. We could still use it. I think we will. Have your blanket close by, have your eye pillow close by, and then some aromatherapy if you like. We're just gonna come to lie down, and you could use your strap or you could use your blanket to find a supported waterfall. Not the same way as when we find that support on the chair. But first, you're gonna want to kind of get yourself situated, notice how you feel, get yourself nice and comfortable, kind of rock around a little bit. And then, if you have a strap, you can take your strap and place it on the bottoms of your feet and extend your legs up and just let your hands be on the strap, gently holding on. You can let your upper arms come down towards the ground. You could even have your legs just in a blanket, kind of like a hammock for your legs. That could feel good too. So it doesn't have to be a strap, but I figure might as well use it. Have it. So you're just allowing your legs to kind of rest and move your toes around as well. This is very nourishing for the kidneys and encourages the venous return of blood and the return of lymph past where it's drained. So it's very restorative for your nervous system. Just kind of allowing yourself to kind of be here for a few more moments, just breathing, softening, letting your legs go down a little, or maybe they come back up into your chest a little if that feels good. Just playing around with that. Stretch. Go ahead and let your legs come over the support. Cover yourself up with a blanket. Have some aromatherapy. You can put a little bit in your hand, and even if you don't, you can kind of rub your hands together and get them nice and charged. If you have that aroma, you could place it over your nose and take a few nice inhales of it. You can rub your hands, your charged hands, on different areas of your body that need a little extra love and attention to. And if you have glasses, you're going to want to remove them and place your eye pillow over your eyes. Let your hands rest wherever they feel comfortable and just prepare to relax. This evening, or whatever time of day it is, I wanted to do a healing experience. And so just allow yourself to, again, just to relax and take a few more deep breaths. Let your exhale really soften you into your support. And what we're going to do is a Reiki healing experience that's between you and the Reiki energy. So, um, previously, and we can work with a practitioner there working with you in Reiki, or we can intend for the Reiki energy to flow through you. And that's what this is. This is just a little healing experience that um, it allows for a high frequency healing energies
to kind of open you up and to flow through you. And what we're working on is removing negative energy. So just sort of removing anything that we no longer need. But we have to be willing to let go of that block, whatever that is. Kind of sometimes that encourages us to make important changes in our lives. And part of the benefit of this practice of therapeutic yoga is that it opens us up so that we can more easily release things that just no longer serve us. And so, what I'd like for you to do as you rest here is to think about an issue that you would like to have healed, something that is maybe a recurring issue. Could be physical, it could be emotional, could be anything. And as you think about it, I want you to close your eyes and just meditate on the issue. Just bring it to your mind, whatever it is. Now, if the original cause of this issue were to be located somewhere in your physical body, where would it be? Find it somewhere in your physical body. Oftentimes, we'll find tension or pain in an area of the body when we think of the issue. There's no wrong answer. Find a place that you could imagine it lingering. And now imagine that you're looking into the area that you have chosen and ask yourself, if this issue had a shape, what shape would it have? If it had a color, color would it have? What texture? Does it have a weight, temperature? Maybe it has a sound. So you're creating this clear, energetic image of whatever this block is, whatever this issue is. And any answer is okay. And it doesn't have to have all of those components. So here you have this particular issue, bringing to mind any images that come along with it. And now I'm going to give you a guided meditation, and then I'll stop talking and just allow the energy to flow. This is the Holy Fire healing experience. It is a beautiful, warm, and sunny day, and you're walking down a path in a beautiful forest. As you breathe into yourself, you breathe in the life energy of the forest. And with each step that you take, feel the energy of the earth flowing up from the bottoms of your feet. As you walk along, you notice another path going off to the right. You feel compelled to follow this path. As you follow this path, you come into a clearing in the forest. And in the middle of the clearing is a small hill covered with soft grass. Climb the hill and feel the grass rubbing against your legs. When you get to the top of the hill, lie down in the soft grass Feel the grass and the earth beneath your body and gaze up into the sky. Gaze up into the sky and see beautiful white clouds. And as you're gazing up at the clouds, a beautiful beam of light begins to shine down through the clouds. This is no ordinary light. It is the light of healing and ultimate love. And it shines all around you and flows into you, filling you with warmth and feelings of safety and love. The light focuses directly on the shape that you identified as your tension. Focus on the shape and be willing to letting it go. Now gaze directly into the light, and as you do so, the light begins to guide you. Follow the light and absorb it. Take a deep breath and let it go. bring your attention to that shape and take note of what it looks like now. Move your fingers and your toes, your wrists and ankles. Find a full body stretch. Bring your knees in and slowly roll to your side. Take your time coming up to a seat. Keeping your head intact until you make it to the top. And rock yourself from side to side and front to back. And bring a hand to your belly and a hand to your heart. And feel your heartbeat and your breath. And offer yourself love, kindness, compassion, and peace just as you are. And offer yourself a smile. And let that smile permeate your being. It extends into your energy field and is part of each interaction. And it dives deep into yourself and helps to alleviate and transform, to digest and release anything you no longer need. Namaste. Thank you so much for your practice today. It's just an honor to get to be with you, and I stop